Hey, it's a mail! Getting a bunch of mail from peoples. I got a ton. I got a ton of mail, so I'm gonna dive right into it. The first one's from Sophia in Indiana. Let's check it out. All right, we have what appears to be an old issue of An America. It says, "Oh my God, it's actually an anime magazine. Holy shit! Ah!" on the oh my God, it's got Key the Metal Idol on the cover. This is a really sick looking cover. I'm handing it off screen, so others can look at it. That is a really cool An America magazine. Thank you. I think I've got more of those coming in another box too. I don't know why it's just now that people are suddenly deciding to send me anime magazines. Why the original concept is just now coming to fruition. But here we go. This next one is from... This one doesn't seem to be from a person so much as a company, I think. Oh, it's a... Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You're going to be excited about this one, May.
Yeah.
It is a composite cable for the N64. So now we can play the N64.
Without the water glitching out and giving us seizures.
Yes. Thank you a ton.
Thank you very much.
Oh, there's a note. A gift for you. Hey, Digi, I know you advise people to write concisely, but I'm no writer. Instead of trying to fit my message into this Amazon gift note, I'll just link a paste bin. Okay. So tinyurl.com/digiBroGift is where we can find the rest of his message. I'll probably film a separate thing of me looking at it. Hey Digi, I've been a fan since the dark times, MLP, and blah blah whatever. I'm sending you what I think is the N64 cord you guys didn't have, as well as a couple of games. Yoshi's Story, because you and May wanted to play it, and I think it makes for a pretty easy, carefree game to play on DigiBros. You have limited lives. If you lose all Yoshis, you have to start over, but the game is only 6 worlds long, and each world has 4 levels, but you only have to play one to move on. So even if you die and go back to World 1, you can still play a different level to get something fresh. I think of it like Star Fox 64 or something. I'm also sending Gauntlet Dark Legacy, the PS2 version, because it was cheaper than the GameCube version. I'm pretty sure they're no different. I got bored with it quickly, but I know you like action RPGs, and it being kind of mindless would probably just make for a better show material, and better to play while listening to podcasts. It is also co-op, but you two can decide if you want to do that or not. Could be fun to try a full LP of a co-op game with Digi and May, but it might also make commentating harder. Amazon only let me send the N64 cord as a gift, so this is coming with that. No idea if the games will arrive with this or if they'll show up later, no big deal either way. Oh, and use this package as a chance to plug DigiBros, because for some reason there are many people who decide they want to watch you open mail, but don't want to watch DigiBros. This makes no sense, and you must write this wrong. Be sure to mention, like you always do, that it is basically just a podcast with gameplay footage on the screen and game music in the background. Anyway, keep up the great work and blah blah, you know how these fan letters go. Ninto55. Thank you a whole ton. I also recommend DigiBros. I don't think the mailbags typically get more views than a Digi and May Let's Play, but yeah, as he said, DigiBros, the channel, is just a podcast show that happens to have video games in it, so check it out if you don't already. I have not received the Yoshi Story game yet, but now I know where the Gauntlet Dark Legacy came from, because you'll see that later in the video, and I don't know where it's from at that point. Thanks a ton for both. Those are both games I definitely wanted to have on hand, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, the N64 cord works. We hooked it up. We tried to play Diddy Kong Racing, but only one of May's controllers actually works, so I probably have to go buy another N64 controller. But that's thankfully, not difficult. So yeah, thanks again. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you for giving me such an easy URL that I will actually type in, and not like a long-ass Google Doc URL that I will definitely not bother with. There's one postcard here that appears to be an image from what I think is Belladonna of Sadness. It says, "Digibro, I finally saw your name subbed, but I haven't seen this masterpiece yet. DVD Tuesday?" From Samurai XXOII, I think. Yeah, Belladonna of Sadness. This is like an actual, it's an actual Belladonna of Sadness postcard. Like, that is the
sick
intention of it. Oh, I guess it's getting a U.S. release somewhere.
Really? Cool.
Yeah. Interesting. Let's see. This next one's from Cleveland, Ohio. It's just a letter. It does not have a name on it. So let's see who it is. We got a handwritten piece that says, I know all you Animu YouTubers like to give shoutouts and suck each other's Dixie cups. So for favor, give link to the crowd, please. I gotta start somewhere. Okay. So whatever his link is, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Oh, hold on. This is... Okay. This is a printed copy. This is what appears to be printed out photos of handwritten letters. So, okay, this says part 3. So here's part 1.
You need to get a fax machine.
Yeah. Digi bro, best guy ever. Noble? What up, all? All has P.O. box, I see. So basically, I need your opinion, I need your onions on some shit. It's a story I have, 300k words, bigger than Harry Potter 5. Been writing every day. God, why didn't you just send me the actual handwritten letters? It would probably be easier to read than the photocopied version. I already know my story's epic, but for some reason, I need you guys to say so too. Okay, so here it is. Oh, he's got, like, descriptions of what happens in each part of the story. Okay. Are you ready to batten down the hatches?
Ready.
All right. Part 1. Japanese 10-year-old gets news that her dad's job is sending the fam to the U.S. She and her little bro balance elementary school with English studies, and then airplane Kun sends them to another world. Now 11, she has to get used to a new language, new culture, finally living with her mom, and a lonely abandoned boy who followed her home and gets adopted into the family. Miyako and Kazuya experience the chaos of America firsthand from 2007 to 2010 until Cody no Baka, the formerly adopted child who's been living with his older brother, steals something that can never be returned, causing Miyako to grow red eyes and fangs, eventually sending the fam back to Japan. I'm having a difficult time following this, to be completely honest.
You fucks her.
Part 2. Gaijin Seishun, Cultural Boogaloo 2 begins with, I don't know how to do home country, especially mom, 10 years in the USA. An angrily charged Miyako now awaits in a fit of rage the mention of anything perverted and becomes hostile to her brother as he enters puberty. She knows something wrong but has no idea how to fix it and despairs over her first, last, and only year in a Japanese middle school with 0 friends. Papa Miyazaki may be proud. I did mega research and paid attention to actual human interaction, unlike probably 80% of all authors ever. Read chapters 1 through 3 at this address. I'm really concerned that it's an Imgur link. Read chapters 1 through 3 at imgur/a/khv2k. Because if it's an Imgur link, it makes me think it's going to be more photographed, handwritten pages. But I could be wrong. I don't know why else it would be in image form. There's more. Part 3. After finally going through high school with her first friends in a year, after graduation she wakes up on an island, but she's not the main character anymore. That's right. Nicolas! Cue Noble upset. The main character Nicholas is literally me. Kinda has to be since the whole story would fall apart otherwise. But why? There's a... I don't understand. I'm gonna now show you these images of you can't see that well because it's hand-drawn photocopied pages that I'm holding up in a dimly lit room, but there's a girl and a boy. There's some Japanese writing. It says, "Ai Niko-chan kosakoide." No. Kosakoide? Because it's translated under that. Oi, Nico-chan, come here. Is that an O? Or is that an... That doesn't look like the character for oi. Also, would oi be in hiragana or katakana? Shashin tame... Shashin. It's for a picture, a pic. Okay, so they're basically they're trying to get organized for a picture, and she's speaking Japanese and he's speaking English in response. Um, uh, so yeah, they're posing. You can send your responses to @StalkerZHS on Twitter. So yeah, if you're interested in hearing any more of this story, follow the Imgur links or go to the Twitter. I'm not going to read the entire last page of this because it's really difficult to read on this paper. But good luck with your story, man. 300,000 words is a fucking lot. So I'm impressed, if nothing else, by your tenacity. All right. What's this one? This one is from a distribution center. It says time-sensitive material. So, let's see.
Boy.
What could possibly be time-sensitive? You see in a DVD or a game. Oh, wow. Gauntlet Dark Legacy for the PS2. Oh, that's fucking dope. Which one's... This one's not the same one on the N64, right? Or is it? I don't know if this is... No, this must be the same one that's on the GameCube. Yeah. Yeah, this is a dope-ass game. Thank you. I don't own any Gauntlet games. This is a multiplayer game. One of my favorite multiplayers. It's actually got the fucking manual and everything.
Awesome.
Because this thing feels heavy. This feels heavy in a way that games have not felt in a long time. You know? You used to get that feeling, you pick up a game and it's like, oh, yeah, I got a product here. Now you pick up like a flimsy little plastic case that you just toss across the room. This thing's like, it's got heft. Yeah, it's just the game Gauntlet Dark Legacy. Thanks to whoever sent this. I don't see any note in there, so cool beans, man. Maybe this will get played on Digi and May do. Have to hook up the PS2. Alright, this next box is from Kira in Connecticut. I'm pretty sure this is, this is from one of my patrons. So shout out to Kira. I already knew what was in this box because he was asking me like if it should be sent, and I was like, hell yeah. And he was very concerned about it making it here. But this is the payload, baby.
Oh damn.
Fuck yeah. We have a whole ton of anime magazines. And I'm particularly excited about these ones because there's some I don't have any copies of. In fact, right off the top, I've never seen this before. It appears to be called VMAX? Is that how you read it? VMAX? And it's got Yusuke Urameshi on the cover. This looks ancient. Like, this looks older than Yu Yu Hakusho's airing in the US. It's all in black and white. I've never heard of this magazine. I've never heard of it before. Then we've got some Animericas, some other old ones from the same era as, because the Animericas I have don't have the title like this, where it goes up. So that's how I know they're from, like, the late 90s, early 2000s. Because, like, the ones I have are from, like, 2003, and they don't even have that. And then here's the magazine I was most hoping to receive when I opened the P.O. Box, which is Protoculture Addicts, with Magic Knight Rayearth on the cover. This was a magazine from the 90s whose title obviously comes from the Macross series, mostly no-color magazine. And the reason I wanted this so much is that they used to have a bunch of copies of this at the comic book store in Virginia Beach called Trilogy, which is a really great store that has like tons of back issues of random shit. And they used to have a ton of old magazines, including a bunch of Protoculture Addicts, and I had always told myself that one day when I had the money, I would come in and buy all of them. By the time I had the money, someone else had come in and bought all of them. So I never ended up getting to have any, and I've just been so fucking curious about it ever since. Here we've got one with fucking Porco Rosso on the cover, a movie I still have not actually seen. How to access new sources of anime and music. I can't wait to find out how the 90s are going to access that. This one's got fucking... What series is this? There's definitely Leiji Matsumoto characters on the cover. You can tell by looking at the woman immediately. Matsumoto's The Cockpit. Look, this just references Matsumoto's The Cockpit. They expect you to know who Leiji Matsumoto is. That's the kind of hardcore anime fandom we're talking about here. I bet half the people I bet 75% of the people watching this video don't even know who Leiji Matsumoto is. But, he was a big deal once upon a time. This one's got Deedlit from Record of Lodoss War on the cover. That's pretty cool. The Lion King. I don't know why it talks about the Lion King. Here we've got another Animerica with... What even the fuck is this? Is Battle Arena Toshinden. One of those anime nobody remembers. I also don't know what this one is. Animerica. It just says Samurai Anime. I don't know if they were just doing like a thing on Samurai Anime. I don't know where this guy comes from though. I have no idea who this is. But I aims to find out. And what appears to be another copy of the same Animerica with the Battle of Toshinden on it. They are the same exact magazine. I guess you had two laying around. This is fucking really cool, and I honestly feel like I might be in a position now where I can actually start doing my magazine videos, because I really wanted some Protoculture Addicts, I really wanted some other obscure stuff before I got started, mostly so I could make comparisons between them. Like, I have 1,000 Otaku USA, but it's hard to talk about what's unique about that magazine without having others to compare it to. So, yeah, maybe that'll start sometime soon. Thanks a ton, Kira. And we got one more package, which is a tube from... Where are you from? Who sent you? It says it's by airmail, by the Royal Mail. Paper only. I have no idea where it's from or who sent it. But, okay. The first thing to come out is a letter. Hey, Digi bro! From all the way in England! A 23-year-old who just graduated with a creative degree worth nothing, but enough about me before this turns into a Super Eye Patch Wolf video. Love you, Eye Patch. The reason I'm writing this letter is to thank you for all the great analytical content you've given over the years, not to mention the many new animes, YouTube creators, and podcasts I've gained by extension of said content. I found your videos while having an argument with my roommate on what is and isn't anime. Thankfully, that convo was cut short, and later while doing some research, I found the infamous meme, the colloquialism itself. After that, I was hooked and ended up binging the rest of your videos. My favorites from the main channel include Turn Your Brain Off, really resonated with my mindset and gives me a great counterpoint when some fuckhead brings it up next. You're Gonna Carry That Weight for its loose, flowing narration with personal reflection. If I was to make videos, I'd want them to be like this. Ghost in the Shell overview. The history of each version and how they differ via creative directors as well as content is almost as interesting as the show itself. 250 anime recommendations. The only 7-hour video I've ever watched all the way through. Point for point, it's a great list, which I keep coming back to. Asterisk War sucks. As far as your long-form content goes, this is your finest. With such a volume of ideas and a great overarching thesis, almost an autopsy of the light novel genre itself. The Plebe and the Weeb has the potential to outshine even Half in the Bag. The master in the background of 40 years of anime, the badass guitarist behind Trigun, Ippo, and Bebop's music. I love the way you can introduce me to artists whose work I've seen in plain sight, but never knew how much they've actually done this, or the story of. Thank you, that's the point of that video, because the same thing happened to me, while doing the research for it. Is there meaning in subverting shonen tropes? One of your finest arguments and a great call out to the subversion and deconstruction meme. I always forget I made that video. Like... I totally keep forgetting it exists. How Yu Yu Hakusho holds up. A fantastic introduction to the show. After watching Ep 1, I didn't look back, and now it is my favorite shonen anime. Hell yeah. While all this ego stroking about the main channel is fine, if I were to be pushed, I'd have to say your After Dark channel is the magnum opus of the Digi empire. Videos like Objectivity Doesn't Exist, Insomnia Analysis, or Digi and Footwear Respond to SAO2 comments have become some of my favorite YouTube videos. The speed in which the channel is produced and the content of its analytical ideas is unparalleled. Furthermore, you never know what you're going to get next. Bring back otaku workouts. Likewise, the format of the videos is almost too advantageous for an artist who wants a constant feed while working. All this content has inspired me to keep up my creative endeavors in the hard times of looking for freelance work. Also, it's reassuring to see that it's possible to make a comfortable living with such creative freedom, even if it's at a price. On a side note, while you were doing the decompression chambers, I felt a connection to your creative compulsion to make, but how it takes a toll on your life as a whole. Just the kind of listening I needed when I take the long bus home from work. Though this black hole of content I was introduced to the PCP, which I'm grateful for. It's a great hub for multifaceted creatives all in one place and only growing. Endless Jess is a genius, Horseshoe Finale and 1 year later Keep Me Sane in the Hospital. Moreover, his Sex with the Young story in the Virginity podcast was outstanding. Mumkey Jones is soon becoming one of my new favorite YouTubers. I'll buy his book when I have the cash. Hey, do so. It's a good book, even if he's not in the PCP anymore. Hippo will be the next JonTron. I know it will just take some time. Not only is Devu a great editor, his videos on Roller Coaster Typhoon are brilliant. The story of Dao being almost transcendent. Munchie is insane. The whole bunch of you are a talented lot is what I'm trying to say. I don't consider myself a writer, but after taking in a bunch of unrelated items, the new fag PCP, Shinbo in the 90s... What do you mean the new fag PCP? Is that spelled wrong? Shinbo in the 90s, Chris Ott, your Coheed and Cambria videos, and an issue of Mojo Music Magazine, not to mention years of analytical videos. I decided I wanted to start making analysis videos. Starting with a long-form video retrospective on the musician Prince's entire discography, coming from an outsider wanting to comment on the concept of digital scarcity and as gonzo exploration of his albums one by one. That is actually a really interesting project. And I would recommend checking out a guy called Deep Cuts, who kind of does, like, he goes through artists' entire discography and explains each of them in a row, and it might give you some ideas on how to approach that. If I do ever get through that project, I'd like to branch out. I would love to make a series of videos on old-ass anime like Gundam and Char, interesting antagonists perhaps. Edit, I just made a video about Horus, Prince of the Sun, called The First Unofficial Ghibli Film, as a pitch for this magazine position. It's on YouTube. I don't have much anime merch. It's overpriced around these parts, but I do have You Can Take Out the Poster Now. This re-release Ghost in the Shell poster I made. Do what you will with it. If anyone else wants one, I'm selling them on my website and Etsy, Patreon at Ben Sate, etc. I hope you and the PCP can keep making content for years to come. I'll be sure to patron when I can. I want more Broken Brilliance. Thanks again, Steve M. P.S. Gay and Dead is a work of art. If you're looking for someone to make you a music video, hit me up. If there's some example of stuff I have made on my website. P.P.S. Whoops, you moved before I could send this letter, so better late than never. Glad to hear you're doing better than when I wrote this. Also, I drew a Bulbasaur for May to go with your portrait. Okay, a Bulbasaur. Alright. Oh, I've seen this before. This is the, drawing of me where I look like a Yeti. Specifically, I look like the Yeti from the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie. It says Broken Brilliance. Got that Broken Brilliance. And then we've also got a Bulbasaur.
Aww.
Here, have Bulbasaur.
Oh, cute. Thank you.
And then finally, oh fuck yeah. Finally, we have a Ghost in the Shell poster of this fucking sick-ass cityscape and Motoko ghosting down through it. I will definitely hang this up as soon as I can get it straight enough to do so. And that's all. That's all the mail. Thanks everybody for sending me mail. Address in the description as usual.